Try to respect the original work as much as possible. With slight magical creations, Li Shuhun pierced through the heavenly world and obtained the check.in system, but the system lay flat. After practicing for 100 years and becoming a saint, I happened to meet the grand gathering of all ethnic groups held in the holy land of Yaochi. As the new sage of the human race, Li Shu and the white-clothed divine King Jiang Taishu fought fiercely against the ancient clan's strong forces, securing the opportunity for peace talks for the human race. Li Shu became famous in World War I, marking the beginning of his mystical journey in the vast world of obscurity. Yi Fan. This guy is really a genius if he doesn't do business. Black Emperor. This special move is even darker than my own. Is it very fulfilling to constantly bully my emperor? Forbidden Zone Supreme. How can this unconventional and righteous guy not be killed? Strange creatures. Variables appear, the sky is unpredictable. The background of this book is the trilogy of the cover of the sky, not just the world of the cover of the sky. Keywords of the novel. No pop-ups when signing in to become a saint for 100 years, complete download of TXT for signing in to become a saint for 100 years, latest chapter reading for signing in to become a saint for 100 years. Chapter 1. Centennial Saint. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Centennial Saint. Time travel, try to be higher than the sky. Covering the heavenly world. The outer periphery of the Beidou star domain and the Taichu ancient mine. In the sky above the desolate land, covered in gravel and red like blood. Thunder filled the sky, enveloping a large area of space, as someone crossed the sky in the sky. Heavenly punishment and thunder descended into the world. That day, the robbery was so strong that it was despairing and terrifying. Below the area where Lei Jia is located, there is only one source city, followed by the source mining areas of various factions. The strong individuals in the source city and source mining area can vaguely sense the terrifying pressure of the heavenly calamity on the void of billions of miles. The stronger a person is, the clearer their feelings become. So some people who sensed the pressure of the heavenly calamity wanted to go and investigate. Unfortunately, there is no ability to fly millions of miles into the sky. This is where super powerhouses are breaking through boundaries, leading to a terrifying catastrophe. This place is located between the Taichu ancient mine and the outer Yuancheng. The appearance of the terrifying heavenly calamity has already alarmed many experts in the source city, but no one can approach the heavenly calamity. Of course, no one dares to approach the heavenly calamity unless they don't want to live anymore. Some strong individuals who were startled by the heavenly calamity can only vaguely see the thunder calamity in the high altitude. Do you know who is crossing the robbery? Someone inquired. I don't know. Those who can cross the tribulations at a height of billions of miles must be super strong. I can only vaguely see the thunder of the heavenly calamity. I can't see clearly the people inside the heavenly calamity. Such a terrifying heavenly calamity, wouldn't it be a saint crossing the calamity? Said a great expert. Sage. It's really possible. The melon-eating crowd cannot see the people in the heavenly calamity. That's because the person who crossed the tribulation sat in the void shrouded in thunder, trying to understand the law of thunder while crossing the tribulation. It wasn't until the terrifying calamity dissipated and someone used the pupil-type secret technique that they saw themselves in the endless sky. There is a figure that looks very young, tall and straight, with black hair flying above the clouds. I have just overcome the calamity and my aura has not yet fully recovered. Some cultivators who were surrounded below sensed the terrifying aura emanating from the person who crossed the tribulation. This is really a saint. In the post-ancient era today, someone has become a saint against the heavens. What a big event. Crossing tribulations on the outskirts of the Taichu ancient mine is not another way for the ancient tribe to become holy, is it? The ancient race has emerged on a large scale, and the days of the human race are becoming increasingly difficult. If only the sage of the human race would be great. Li Shu did not hear the discussion of the melon-eating crowd. But even if he heard it, Li Shu didn't bother to pay attention. He is closing his eyes and experiencing a new realm that has just broken through, the four heavens of Sendai, also known as the Sage Realm. The realm of sages is indeed much more powerful than the path of slaying. The sage has officially touched the power of the law. A glance or a strand of hair can be a means of attack, and their power is unparalleled. After careful consideration, Li Shu had a clear assessment of his current strength. The reason why Li Shu is here to cross the sky calamity. That's because for 100 years, he has been practicing on the outskirts of the Taichu ancient mine. 100 years ago, Li Shu, an ordinary person from China on earth, had his soul travel to this world. Li Shu's soul occupied the body of an unnamed orphan who had just starved to death outside the source city. When Li Shu just crossed over, he obtained a check.in system. But this check.in system actually lay flat, except at the beginning. A prompt was given. Congratulations to the host, we have obtained the check.in system. Please explore the system functions yourself. This system is about to lie flat. And then, there's no more then. The host hasn't even laid flat yet, but the system has laid it flat first. Where can we make sense of this? Since then, the system has never squeaked again. Li Shu had to explore on his own and roughly understood the functions of this check.in system. You can sign in once a day, and the number of points you earn varies depending on the location you sign in at. The more dangerous or special it is to sign in, the more points you will earn. Signing in is the only way to earn points. And points are the only hard currency that can be used in the system mall. In the system mall, there is whatever you want, such as the Emperor's Classic, 9 Secrets, Immortal Medicine, and the Immortal Gold used to forge Emperor's weapons. These are just pediatrics, and what's even more remarkable is the pollen path cultivation method in Holy Market and various immortal methods in Perfect World. There are all kinds of martial arts in the immortal realm, as well as various rare treasures, and so on. Even more precious are various Tao rules. In the system mall, there are complete Tao rules that can be exchanged. For example, the law of thunder, the law of time, the law of space, the law of life and death, and so on. The prerequisite is that you have enough points to redeem. The laws of the Tao can only be seen, such as immortal medicines and methods, and even Li Shu can only be seen. Because there are no points, it's too poor. For example, a classic without a beginning requires a total of 200 million points to be redeemed, while a secret word requires 10 million points. And Li Shu can only earn a meager 600 points by checking in here in Yuanqing once a day. Fortunately, various imperial scriptures and other cultivation techniques can be exchanged separately. For example, the Wheel C chapter of the Sun Sutra can be redeemed with just 20,000 points. Li Shu tried his best to obtain some dry food. I left Yuanqing and arrived at the edge of the Taichu ancient mine. Sign in here and earn over 1,000 points per day. It took more than 10 days to accumulate enough points to exchange for the Sun Holy Emperor's Will C chapter of the Sun Scripture. With the cultivation techniques, Li Shu began to embark on the path of cultivation. Every time Li Shu breaks through a great realm, he goes deeper into the Taichu ancient mine by hundreds or even kilometers. Just like this, on the outskirts of the Taichu ancient mine, while practicing, sign in and earn more points. After 100 years of hasty cultivation, Li Shu finally reached the four heavens of Sendai, and can be considered to have some self-protection power in this world. For 100 years, Li Shu has been practicing on the outskirts of the Taichu ancient mine, and he has no idea what era this world is in. More than 30 years ago, when breaking through to the Sanchong heavens in Sendai, Li Shu actually returned to Yuanqing once. However, I only stayed in Yuanqing for 2 days before continuing my cultivation in the Taichu ancient mine until today when I was about to cross the heavenly calamity. Li Shu Kai came out again and crossed the heavenly calamity outside the Taichu ancient mine. Now that the apocalypse has passed, Li Shu is preparing to go back to the source city to take a look, and it's time to go out and take a look around. The cultivators watching below were still thinking. If Li Shu falls to the ground, should we step forward and get familiar with this newly promoted sage and strong person? As a result, Li Shu broke through the air and disappeared in an instant. There's no need to hesitate now, we can only regretfully go back to our respective homes and find our mothers. It has been 100 years since I traveled to this world. But this world is too dangerous, and Li Shu has been struggling to cultivate. I haven't been to any other places besides the outskirts of Yuanqing and Taichu Ancient Mine. Leaving the outskirts of the Taichu Ancient Mine, the first stop was Yuanqing. Li Shu strolled around Yuanqing casually, watching the bustling streets, listening to various cries, and smelling the aroma of food wafting out from the small shops on the street. Although Yuanqing is small, it is also full of the atmosphere of life. For the past century, Li Shu was basically alone, practicing in a deserted place. I haven't felt this kind of life atmosphere for a long time. After sighing, Li Shu walked into a lively restaurant and ordered a few dishes to eat and drink, while listening to others chatting. After only listening to the chat content of others for a while, Li Shu heard a lot of useful news. The ancient race has emerged on a large scale, and there are constant bloodshed and conflicts between the ancient race and the human race. Both parties have agreed to visit the Yaochi Holy Land in the northern region of the eastern wilderness. Convene a grand gathering for all ethnic groups to discuss how the human and ancient tribes can coexist. The grand gathering of thousands of ethnic groups is one of the scenes that cover the sky, where the heroes gather and there will be a great war. Li Shu certainly wouldn't miss such a famous scene. Since the grand gathering of all races is about to begin, it indicates that Yi Fan and his classmates have already arrived at the Beidou Star Domain for quite some time. Yi Fan has already achieved success in cultivation, at least with considerable self-protection power. The convening of this grand gathering of all ethnic groups, Yi Fan has made significant contributions in secret, which can be said to be indispensable. What Li Shu is more concerned about is the various martial arts and secret techniques that Yi Fan has mastered, which he encountered in the Holy Land of Yaochi. You can try the secret technique of exchanging the 9 secrets with Yi Fan. The new book, Various Weather Events, starting from the Deer and Cauldron, has been released. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Arriving at Yaochi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Arriving at Yaochi. Li Shu ate some food and left Yuanqing. After leaving Yuanqing, he crossed the void directly and rushed to the Holy Land of Yaochi. Li Shu arrived outside the Holy Land of Yaochi and exuded a hint of sage power. Immediately, a large group of cultivators came out from the Holy Land of Yaochi to greet him. It's not that Li Shu deliberately wanted Versailles, it's really that Li Shu doesn't know anyone, and no one else knows him either. To successfully enter the Holy Land of Yaochi and receive recognition and respect, showcasing one's strength is the most direct and effective way. The people who came to welcome Li Shu were led by 2 women, who should be the contemporary queen and saint of Yaochi. The Holy Land of Yaochi, which has been visited by the great emperor, is usually visited by saints, and the Lord of Yaochi will soon personally welcome them. However, it is now an extraordinary time, as the grand gathering of all races is about to begin. No sage of the human race has yet arrived, and Li Shu is the first. Finally, a sage of the human race, the Lord of the Yaochi Holy Land and a contemporary saint, as well as other human cultivators, arrived and quickly came out to welcome them. But upon coming out, no one knew Li Shu at all. I saw Li Shu, who was tall and handsome, with an outstanding figure and a young and handsome appearance. The Queen Mother of Yaochi spoke up and said, "Welcome to Yaochi, Senior." "What do you call me, Senior?" "My name is Li Shu, I am a casual cultivator. I have been practicing in seclusion and have come out on a whim to take a walk. Coincidentally encountering a grand gathering of thousands of ethnic groups, let's come to the Holy Land of Yaochi to join the fun. Are you the contemporary Queen Mother of Yaochi?" "It is my junior, Mr. Li, who is able to attend the grand gathering of all ethnic groups. It is a great honor for the human race and also an honor for the Yaochi Lake. Please come to the Yaochi Lake, Senior." Li Shu nodded and followed into the holy land of Yaochi. The holy land of Yaochi is quite magnificent and beautiful, with towering holy mountains and extraordinary weather. The overall ethereal and handsome atmosphere is very rich in spiritual energy. The scenery is beautiful, coupled with rich spiritual energy, making it a very good place for cultivation. Li Shu spoke up and said, "I heard that there is an immortal pond in the holy land of Yaochi. Can you let me go to the shore of the immortal pond and meditate? When the grand event begins, let me know again, and I will come out to face the strong of the ancient tribe. Now is an era where saints do not emerge. The human race is not without saints, but they are all elderly people whose lifespan is about to end, and they are the heritage of various major forces. It is estimated that the old sages from various factions will not attend this grand gathering of all ethnic groups. Those holy imperial dynasties have their own way of survival and will not easily use their heritage." Li Shu was the first human saint to come to the Yaochi Holy Land, and the people of Yaochi Holy Land would not refuse Li Shu's request. "I just went to practice by the side of the immortal pool. The principal of the Yaochi Holy Land is very willing to use this to make friends with saints and strong people." Under the personal leadership of the Queen Mother of Yaochi, Li Shu arrived at Xianqi. The water mist here in Xianqi is hazy, and there are many sacred medicines around Xianqi. More importantly, there is a tall peach tree there. This peach tree is over 10 meters tall and takes root by the side of the immortal pool. That is the mother plant of the peach tree in the holy land of Yaochi. There are no fruits on the tall tree, only a few brilliant flowers. The mother plant of the peach tree in the holy land of Yaochi is a true immortal peach tree that was brought out of the forbidden zone of life by the ancestors of Yaochi. This mother plant of a peach tree requires 500 years for its fruit to mature once. That is a top-notch elixir that can prolong life for hundreds of years and is one of the most precious things in the holy land of Yaochi. There are no peaches on the tree, but the fragrance emanating from the flowers is equally extraordinary. Breathing the fragrant fragrance of flowers can also make one feel comfortable all over. I feel that my physical condition has never been better before, and I truly deserve to be a true and immortal branch of the peach tree." Li Shu sat down by the side of the immortal pool and began to cultivate. The others dared not disturb and all left the immortal pool. The news of the arrival of the sage of the human race immediately spread throughout the entire holy land of Yaochi. This news has inspired countless human cultivators. However, all of this has nothing to do with Li Shu. Li Shu signed in by the side of the immortal pool and surprisingly earned a full 20,000 points. What a great place! 100 years ago, Li Shu delved into the ancient mine of Taichu for 100 miles. At its peak, daily check that IN only earns 16,000 points. What Li Shu currently lacks the most is, of course, points. That is to say, the current strength is not enough. In the future, if you have strength, you will definitely go deep into the life penalty area to cultivate. Because if you sign in within the life penalty area, you will definitely earn more points. Li Shu's points for signing in for 100 years, in addition to exchanging for cultivation techniques and materials to forge a sword, are only enough to exchange for the character, Zhe, in the 9 secrets. Zhe Mi is not only a healing holy technique, but more importantly, it can also condense the elemental spirit and make it more powerful. Cultivating to a higher level can give the spiritual essence and powerful recovery ability. Zhe Mi not only heals injuries, but also removes all impurities from the body, making the whole body crystal clear like precious jade, clear and clean, dust-free and free of dirt. The cultivator is a person with a secret character, and their vitality is unparalleled. There are rumors that after practicing the character secret to the highest level, they can be reborn with drops of blood. As for the other secrets of the 9 secrets, Li Shu didn't want them, but he didn't have enough points and couldn't exchange them. So we can only prioritize the exchange of the character secret and the other 9 secret techniques. Only in the future can there be opportunities to collect or exchange with others. For example, Yi Fan, the son of Qi Luck, is currently mastering several 9 secret techniques, but he happens to not have the word secret. When encountering a suitable opportunity, Li Shu can use the character secret to exchange secret techniques with him. By the way, establish a good relationship with Yi Fan because this world is too dangerous. If it's just the world that covers the sky, Li Shu has enough confidence. You can still carve out a world on your own. The problem is that the world of covering the sky is only a fragmented world, and after experiencing countless difficulties to reach the immortal realm, one must face other even more powerful enemies. If it were an ordinary enemy, with the system in place and the cheat-enabled Li Shu, of course, they would not be afraid of those enemies. But the eerie creatures and eerie sources are too terrifying for Li Shu to deal with alone. The eerie source is like a cloud of strong people, with countless immortal emperors and Taoist ancestors. Even there are as many as 10 strong individuals at the level of sacrificial rituals. Even if there are many strong ones, the key is that TM can't kill them. Because those strange creatures, after being killed by humans, can constantly come back to life through their ancestral land. Note: for those who are not familiar with the ancestral land of eerie creatures, you can take a look at Holy Market. At the end, there are many descriptions about the ancestral land of eerie creatures. It is 10 times and 100 times harder to truly kill a powerful creature than to kill other enemies of the same level. Facing the eerie creatures that have been hacked, one big world after another, one era after another, all have become leaks harvested by the eerie creatures. Countless epochs, only the human traffickers of the Wilderness Emperor, Yi Tiandi, and Chu Feng can truly fight against strange creatures. Emperor Huangtian and Chu Feng are too far away from Li Shu, and there is no chance to make friends. Yi Tiandi is not yet the heavenly emperor, but Yi He. And just like Li Shu, they are all struggling in the Beidou, and the tower near the water wins the moon first. With such a great opportunity, how could you not make friends with Yi He? If you want to make friends with Yi He, there will be opportunities in the future. Now, it's better to focus on cultivation. Li Shu has just broken through to the first level of the 4 heavens in Sendai, which is just his first entry into the realm of saints. At the grand gathering of all races, the battle between the human race and the ancient race is simply unavoidable. Not only do we need to fight, but we also need to have the qualifications to negotiate, which will inevitably be a series of bloody battles. Li Shu's current strength may be under a lot of pressure to compete with those old and powerful members of the ancient tribe. Although some characters are hidden, after all, they are several small realms lower than others. After arriving at the 4th level of Sendai, there were layers and steps, with a few small steps apart. Sometimes it's just difficult to bridge the gap. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Twin Sages of the Human Race, Seeking Tickets for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Twin Sages of the Human Race, Seeking Tickets for Collection. Li Shu is busy practicing by the side of the immortal pool. More and more human cultivators and numerous ancient creatures from outside have arrived at the holy land of Yaochi. Many ancient tribes were hostile towards the human race, and after the two sides met, there were naturally many conflicts. Some strong members of the ancient tribe wanted to suppress the Holy Prince, the Holy Ape clan of Dojan. There are also some ancient tribes who want to take this opportunity to kill the holy body Yi Fan. Because of the power of the ancient holy body, the ancient tribe deeply understands it, and they do not want Yi Fan to grow up. The ancient powerful warriors openly humiliated and oppressed the human cultivators in the holy land of Yaochi, and even directly took action. The guardian of the barbarian race, which is the old holy turtle. I couldn't bear to see it, so I fought fiercely with the ancient tribe and killed a dragon-headed ancient king. Between the ancient and human races, the smell of gunpowder is very strong. The ancient race relied on numerous powerful individuals and did not even pay attention to the human race. However, none of these things alarmed Li Shu. Until the 7 ancient kings of the ancient tribe came together and made a strong attack on old Xuanwu. The supreme elder of Yaochi Holy Land hurriedly arrived at the bank of Xianqi and invited Li Shu out. Because currently in this holy land of Yaochi, only the sage of Li Shu's human race is here. At this time, we can only invite him to go out and support the event. When Li Shu arrived outside the Yaochi lake, he happened to hear the ruthless and cold words of the ancient ethnic strongmen. When a grand family needs to rely on an old turtle to maintain their pitiful dignity, you are not far from extinction. Besides this old turtle, can anyone else fight for it? Without a strong opponent of the same level, how can you maintain your ridiculous dignity? The so-called 10,000 Clan Festival is just a joke. Does the human race have a strong person who is on equal footing with us? If the human race does not have a strong person of the same level, how can this 10,000 Clan Festival be held? Without saying a word, Li Shu stepped up into the air and came to the sky above this group of ancient kings, looking down at the 7 arrogant ancient kings from the sky. The ancient king of the ancient tribe also stared coldly at the plum tree. They are just saints of a human race, with a large number of people and no regard for Li Shu. Not to mention a saint, even if there are a few more, they have full confidence in killing all the saints of the human race. Sage, this is the saint of our human race. The sage has appeared, how can the ancient tribe still be arrogant? Many people became excited and shouted loudly. But some people whispered weakly, but, with only one saint, can we deal with so many ancient kings? Will it be like the Holy Turtle Senior just now, who was jointly attacked by the enemy and suffered serious injuries, vomiting blood upon hearing these words? Many people feel a chill in their hearts. Although unwilling to admit it, this is the fact. The old holy turtle of the barbarian race, although powerful, is difficult to defeat with 2 fists and 4 hands. After forcefully defeating a dragon-headed ancient king, she was attacked by several ancient kings and suffered serious injuries, vomiting blood, and was unable to fight anymore. So it's not unreasonable for these people to worry about Li Shu. However, Li Shu knew that he was just coming out to pretend to be a 13, because there were strong members of the human race who were about to arrive. The human cultivators below are discussing extensively. And the ancient king of the ancient tribe is ready to take action. At this very moment, at the far end of heaven and earth, the sound of footsteps came, as if they had merged with heaven and earth. At a very far distance, the sound of footsteps can be clearly heard in people's ears. The setting sun was like blood, causing both the sky and the earth to be tinged with a red halo. At the end of the line of sight, a tall figure was walking step by step. The newcomer is better dressed in white than snow, exuding a heroic spirit, with firm steps and truly unparalleled charm. Seeing this figure, Li Shu knew that he had temporarily stabilized. Jiang Taishu, the white-clothed god king, ranked first in terms of combat power for 1,000 years. Another sage from the human race appeared, and some of the human cultivators present were so excited that tears welled up in their eyes and flowed down their faces. The human cultivators who had been oppressed by the ancient tribe for a long time became excited when they saw another saint of the human tribe appear. This is a saint belonging to our human race. Sage, definitely a saint. Our human race has another saint appearing, ha ha ha. There are many ancient kings in the ancient race, and our human race has more than one saint. He is the unparalleled divine king. Ha ha, 2 saints, dual saints of the human race. Jiang Taishu has become a saint, but people still tend to call him the God King, the White God King Jiang Taishu. This title and image have long been deeply imprinted in people's hearts. The ancient creatures, on the other hand, coldly said, 2 saints. In front of so many ancient kings, they are just here to die. What kind of waves can they stir up? Finally, 2 saints appeared. Can you please the human race? The happier they are now, the more sad they will be in the future. Haha. Under the gaze of everyone, Jiang Taishu walked steadily, seemingly slow and fast. Jiang Shenhuang arrived, and the scene also quieted down. The ancient king of the ancient tribe asked, how do you call it? Jiang Taishu, said Jiang Shenhuang calmly. Li Shu fell to the ground and stood shoulder to shoulder with Jiang Taishu. Jiang Shenhuang's white clothes are better than snow, while Li Shu is dressed in a black power suit. The two saints of the human race, facing a group of ancient kings from the ancient race, were no less imposing than the ancient race. The ancient king of the ancient tribe remained silent for a while, and a hint of doubt appeared on his face. Then he asked, "How do I feel that you are different from other saints?" Jiang Shenhuang said, "If we have different races, the way we prove it will naturally be different." "No, you haven't gone far on the path of the sage." "What kind of way have you proven?" "You are definitely stronger than ordinary saints." This statement startled some ancient creatures. Are these two saints of the human race really far superior to those of the same level? Li Shu, however, was too lazy to talk anymore, and directly uttered a divine idea, secretly passing the character, "Je," to King Jiang. And he whispered to him, "Among the 9 secrets, I only have the secret of the character, Je. I hope it can be helpful to my fellow Taoist." Li Shu's words are a bit skillful. In the face of a great enemy, share one of the 9 secrets, the Zhi secret, hoping to help King Jiang Shenhuang. At the same time, it also points out that I only have this one, the secret technique in the 9 secrets. Li Shu believed that as someone like King Jiang, he would most likely pass on the secret of Duzi to him. Sure enough, the white-clothed divine king reciprocated with a divine thought and passed the secret word of Do to Li Shu. Li Shu was overjoyed that he had obtained the Duzi secret and saved 10 million points. Even if he has the audacity to stay by the fairy pond in the holy land of Yaochi and sign in, he only earns 20,000 points in a day. You need to sign in continuously for 500 days to earn enough points to exchange for a 9 secret technique. If you sign in at a regular place, it may take 2 to 3 years to earn points that can be exchanged for a 9 secret technique. Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang ignored them. The 7 ancient kings of the ancient tribe all had angry faces, as if they had been greatly humiliated. Some of them even snorted coldly. Li Shu didn't respond and didn't want to talk to them directly. Jiang Taishu and other saints had already discussed before, and there was no intention of forming a deadly feud when they came this time. I hope and can solve the problem of coexistence between the human race and the ancient race in a peaceful way. Jiang Shenhuang spoke calmly, times have changed, and every sage of the human race is unique. In the post-wasteland era, the rules of heaven and earth were suppressed too much, and the path of cultivation was difficult, making it difficult for saints to appear. During the period of their birth, the ancient kings of the ancient tribe naturally felt that the world today is very different from the era they lived in. They have also understood that in today's era, the powerful and the holy Lord are already strong, and the kings of the immortal 3 slaying paths are rare to see. It's not easy to break through and become a saint. Upon hearing Jiang Taishu's words, the faces of the ancient kings of the ancient tribe became somewhat unsightly. Jiang Shenhuang said calmly, "The grand gathering of all ethnic groups is about to begin. Aren't you all going in and taking a seat?" Jiang Shenhuang was polite, but the ancient king of the ancient tribe did not give face at all. An ancient king spoke coldly, "It's not worth going in. There's no one on par with us. What kind of grand event is this? Do you want us to sit inside and talk to the air?" Li Shu's temper erupted, pointing at the ancient king of the ancient tribe who was speaking. Shouting loudly, "What do you have to be proud of? If you really have strength, don't bully others with more. Which tribe do you come from among the Taiwan tribes? Do you have the right to fight against the human race alone? Just a group of short-sighted and self-righteous cannon fodder. Do you really consider yourself a member of the ancient imperial family? Don't pretend to be a senior expert here. If you have the guts, go into the air and fight for life and death." As soon as Li Shu uttered these words, the scene erupted in an uproar. Which big shot moves so quickly? The new book has just been approved and has already been invested in. Thank you for your support. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Slaying the Ancient King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Slaying the Ancient King. Neither the human race nor the many ancient tribes present expected it. Li Shu, who has been silent since coming here. Surprisingly, he is so powerful that he invites the ancient king of the ancient tribe to fight. Undoubtedly a saint, his spirit is truly extraordinary. Although we are outnumbered by the enemy, we are not afraid at all. Many cultivators of the human race see Li Shu so powerful. While feeling a bit worried, I also feel proud. Li Shu is not only powerful in his mouth, but also rises up in the air during his speech, preparing to face the enemy in the air. Since you are in a hurry to seek death, I will fulfill you today. The ancient king said with a murderous aura and a cold voice. The battle at the sage level began like this. Many people have anticipated from the attitude of the ancient ethnic group that there will be a great war at this grand gathering of thousands of ethnic groups. I didn't expect the war to come so quickly. The saints and strong men from both sides had just met, and the war began. An ancient king of the ancient tribe rose up into the air, with 36 pairs of wings on his back, as written in the original text, not personally modified, all of which vibrated and fluttered together. In the sky, the heavenly gang light curtain suddenly flourished, and a divine sword emerged from the light curtain, which was a divine sword formed by the convergence of the infinite gods. The divine sword aimed at the Li tree and struck straight down. This is the opponent's strongest attack, wanting to kill Li Shu with one strike. When he came up, he exerted all his strength, one of which was angered by Li Shu's words. The second is to quickly kill Li Shu in order to intimidate the human cultivators and various forces. The battle between the strong may last for several days and nights. It is also possible to distinguish between victory and death in just one move. And this ancient king, who has 36 pairs of wings, obviously wants to divide the outcome and see life and death with just one move. The points Li Shu has earned over the years are not only exchanged for cultivation techniques, but also for the secret character of Hija. He also spent a lot of points and exchanged a large piece of 5 elements immortal gold from the system mall. And he used the 5 elements immortal gold to forge a long sword. The name of the sword is Zhanshen. Regardless of whether you are an immortal or a god, I will cut it with one sword. The divine blade draws inspiration from the advantages of using the divine whip. On the blade of this divine blade, Li Shu has carved many divine patterns specifically targeting the Yuanshen and Shenshi. In battle, it can deal additional damage to the enemy's divine sense and elemental spirit. After reaching the level of sage, each has their own means, even if their body is shattered, they can quickly recover. And if it's the original spirit being injured, it won't be so easy to recover. Li Shu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart when he saw the attack of the ancient king of the ancient tribe. The attack of this ancient king was not as strong as Li Shu had expected, and Li Shu was fully capable of dealing with such intensity of attack. Faced with the cold attack of the ancient king, Li Shu's divine sword struck with a divine aura, and the swords collided in the air. Chang. The divine sword of slaying did not pause at all, shattering the opponent's divine sword and heading straight towards their head. The other ancient kings of the ancient tribe saw that their companions were not doing well and wanted to rescue them, but were stopped by the white-clothed divine king alone. Next, more ancient kings of the ancient tribe will take action, directly attacking with more and less. Facing the ancient king of Li Shu, he was already full of confidence and wanted to use his strongest strike to instantly kill Li Shu. However, the result was beyond his expectations. Li Shu, a human race that had just entered the realm of saints, was even more powerful than he had anticipated. After his divine sword was chopped to pieces, the opponent wanted to dodge, but it was too late. The distance between the two sides was already very close. The divine sword cut through the void, and in the midst of the shining divine light, it cut the ancient king of the ancient tribe in half with just one strike. Even his primordial spirit was annihilated into nothingness by the divine power of the slaying sword. Li Shu's figure flashed and he collected the body of the ancient king of the ancient tribe. The corpse of a sage-level ancient king, this is a good thing and cannot be wasted. The three ancient kings below besieged Jiang Taishu, while the other three charged into the air and besieged Li Shu. Li Shu instantly killed an ancient king and even collected his body. This has made other ancient kings of the ancient tribe hate Li Shu to the bone and become extremely angry. The war began, and other human cultivators and many ancient creatures retreated to the distance. In such a battle, not only did the sages participate, but being slightly affected was both fatal and injurious. The three ancient kings besieging Li Shu all took out their holy soldiers and fiercely attacked Li Shu from different directions. The sky shines with light, and various paths of light intersect and collide with each other continuously. These ancient kings of the ancient tribe still underestimated Li Shu's divine sword. Their holy soldiers were cut off one after another in an instant, and the divine blade turned and swept towards the ancient king of the ancient tribe. The divine blade is made of immortal gold, and in terms of material, it is several levels stronger than the holy weapons of these ancient kings. And since he had this divine slayer, every time he crossed the heavenly calamity, Li Shu would take out the divine slayer. Let the divine blade and him endure the baptism and tempering of the heavenly calamity. The only one who suffers losses in weapons is the ancient king of the ancient tribe. Watching Li Shu's divine sword sweep towards them with a dazzling divine light. The three ancient kings besieging Li Shu immediately dodged and quickly retreated dozens of miles away, and the distance between the three was far apart. The character, Zhizimi Li Shu, has been practiced for a long time, which makes Li Shu's spiritual essence extremely condensed. Although Li Shu has just broken through to the realm of sages, his primordial spirit is actually only strong and not weak compared to the ancient kings of these ancient tribes. The primordial spirit is powerful, and when wielded by the imperial envoy, the power of the divine blade is doubled. Although the ancient king of the ancient tribe had dodged in time, one person was still beheaded by Li Shu's divine sword. The ancient king's blood spilled into the sky, and the plum tree once again fiercely killed the enemy. The ancient king, whose head was chopped off, wanted to escape under the guidance of his primordial spirit, but can you escape? The divine blade of Slash flashed once again, splitting the head of the ancient king in half, and its original spirit was also annihilated by the divine blade of Slash. As for the body, it was collected by Li Shu again. It was just a matter of breathing, and Li Shu killed two powerful ancient kings in succession. This scene excited the human cultivators present. Many ancient creatures present were filled with excitement. That's a strong ancient king. Why did he die? Still dying, two in a row, which makes many ancient tribes feel unacceptable. And below, besieging the three ancient kings of Jiang Taishu. The Hengyu furnace, which evolved from the use of Do Zi Mi by King Jiang Shenhuang, was suppressed and almost knelt on the ground. The imperial soldier Hengyu furnace, although only evolved by the secret method of King Jiang Shenhuang, is not the essence of the imperial soldier here, nor is it something that these ancient kings can resist. This is still the mercy of King Jiang Shenhuang, with no intention of killing them all. Otherwise, those three ancient kings have already died. Two saints of the human race fought against 7 ancient kings of the ancient race. Unexpectedly, the human race, which was at an absolute disadvantage in terms of numbers, made a stunning move and instantly killed 2 ancient kings. There were also 3 ancient kings who were suppressed by King Jiang and unable to move, just like the lamb waiting to be slaughtered, whose life and death were only in the blink of an eye. The remaining 2 ancient kings have retreated dozens of miles away and were killed by Li Shu, leaving them deeply saddened. Coincidentally, it's National Day, and the official signing will take place after the holiday. Before signing the contract, 1 shift per day, end of this chapter. Chapter 5. Exchange Secrets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Exchange Secrets. Facing the ancient king of Li Shu, retreat far away. Li Shu did not pursue them. Li Shu stood tall in the air, his divine sword floating on his side, exuding a complete aura. And below, King Jiang suddenly stopped and let go of the three ancient kings who were besieging him. As expected by Li Shu, he didn't care what Jiang Shenwang did. But instead, he dodged and arrived at the holy shell where Yi Fan had taken control. Li Shu pulled Yi Fan and dodged to a place far away from the crowd. And he said to Yi Fan, "Are you the holy body Yi Fan? I have heard of your name. The holy body Yi Fan is indeed renowned in the Beidou. Wherever Yi Fan goes, there are often constant storms. On the contrary, it is Li Shu, although he is a saint and a strong person. Because I have been practicing subconsciously, so far my reputation is still unknown." Yi Fan, who had not yet spoken, was taken over by Duanda's primordial spirit, the essence of Yi Fan. Quietly following over, he said humbly, "Senior, I am Yi Fan. Do you have any instructions, Senior? Are you Yi Fan? I heard you have mastered the Emperor's Classic and several 9 secret techniques, as well as countless divine sources and treasures on your body. You see how hard it is for me to fight against the ancient king of the ancient tribe. Just lend me the Emperor's Classic, 9 secrets, divine source, and all kinds of treasures to use first, and I will return them to you later." Listening to the Tao has no benefits, but instead asking for benefits from him, enthusiastic Duanda immediately changed his face and said, "Senior, I have something to deal with on my end." As he spoke, he quickly ran away. "You can't run without it." Li Shu's combat effectiveness was witnessed with his own eyes just now. If Li Shu forcibly demands it, will he give it or not? Yi Fan said, "Senior, you are the Optimus Prime stone of the human race. You only have some imperial scriptures and 9 secrets. If you need them, just take them." Li Shu Dao said, "I won't take it for free either. I know you have many enemies, and I believe the character secret will be of great use to you. I will pass you the character secret as an exchange. I already have the Duzi secret, and I also have an imperial scripture that I can pass on to you. Even if you don't practice, it's still good as a reference." Li Shu unleashed 2 divine thoughts and passed on the secret of the character, Zhe, and his cultivation techniques to Yi Fan. Li Shu cultivates the Sun scripture produced by the system Mall. The reason why the Sun Sutra is called the Sun Mother Sutra is because it is one of the earliest imperial scriptures of the human race and is not limited to physical fitness. Ordinary physical fitness can also be practiced. For constitutions like the Sun Sacred Body, practicing the Sun Sutra requires a physical bonus. More importantly, the Sun scripture produced by this system Mall is a complete imperial scripture, containing the last forbidden secret law. The last forbidden secret law in every imperial scripture is the supreme secret law in the world. That is the core and essence of the Tao of the preacher. Whether it is the ancient emperor of the ancient race or the great emperor of the human race, whenever they want to complete their own scriptures, it is the last forbidden secret law. Various strange scenes will appear, and various misfortunes will come, bursting out with special visions, which can be said to be extremely demonic. And this last taboo secret law is difficult to imprint in the hearts of even great saints and experts, and it is easy to forget after reading it. There is a strange force interfering, and I don't want such taboo secrets to be passed down in the world. The Sun scripture obtained by Li Shu is a systematic product, but there is no such issue. At the beginning of Li Shu's cultivation, he chose the Sun Sutra as his main cultivation method. Because the Sun Sutra is the oldest and most primitive mother scripture of the human race, it can be said to be one of the origins of human cultivation techniques. For example, the Void scripture of the Void Emperor can be redeemed in the system Mall with only 160 million points. But the Sun Sutra requires a full 200 million points. Just from the exchange price alone, it can be seen that the Sun Sutra should be more powerful. After obtaining the Sun Sutra and the secret of the Harmony Word, Yi Fan is not stingy either. He has mastered the secret of Xingzi and Jizi, as well as the Emperor's Classic, the Book of Heaven, and the 6 Paths Reincarnation Fist. Various powerful secret techniques were passed down to Li Shu with divine power. Li Shu took a big advantage and was in a good mood. In a friendly tone, he said to Yi Fan, I took advantage of you today. On the path of cultivation, I have taken one more step than you. Nowadays, the era of great struggle has arrived, and the imperial road is difficult with many corpses and bones. In the future, if there is a need for help, I will try my best to help Yi Fan. Thank you very much, Senior. The road is very difficult now, and the road ahead will be even more difficult. Your way of dealing with people and things is more to my taste. It's natural for people in the same path to help each other, so you don't have to be polite to me. Unlike in the original work, 2 ancient kings were killed by Li Shu due to his appearance. Although Jiang Shenhuang did not kill anyone, the remaining ancient kings had no face and turned around to leave the Yaochi Holy Land. In this way, Jiang Shenhuang won't be dragged down and won't have to sit overnight with a group of ancient kings like in the original work. At this moment, Jiang Shenhuang approached and looked at Li Shu with some curiosity. He spoke up and said, My fellow Taoist has great combat power and strength. Thank you very much for your help. Jiang Shenhuang is polite. Even without me, those ancient kings of the ancient tribe are not your opponents. I don't think Dao Yu is old enough to achieve this feat, which is truly admirable. Li Shu smiled and said, You and I don't need to be polite. Would you be willing to exchange Dao Yu's Eternal Universe Sutra? How about I exchange it with Dao Yu using the Sun Sutra? Yi Fan was on the side, with a strange expression on his face. Just now, Li Shu exchanged the Sun Sutra with him, and now he is using the Sun Mother Sutra to exchange the Hengyu Emperor Sutra with King Jiang Shenhuang. Is it really good to sell the goods in 2 stores or in person? Yi Fan feels that this young sage has an unusually thick skin. The Hengyu Classic is the imperial scripture of Emperor Hengyu, the ancestor of the Jiang family, and also the core inheritance of the ancient Jiang family. So Li Shu wanted to exchange, but Jiang Shenhuang hesitated a bit. Li Shu continued, The reason why ancient tribes have emerged on a large scale now is because of the legend that the path to immortality will be opened in this lifetime. If Qingxian Road is opened, the supreme leader of the forbidden area will definitely move out. But who knows how many people will be immortal then? The supreme being who cannot enter the immortal road is likely to initiate a dark turmoil like before, so I thought about strengthening the power of my fellow disciples. However, this Hengyu Sutra is the core inheritance of the ancient Jiang family. If Taoists are unwilling to exchange it, I cannot force it. Yi Fan listened beside him and exclaimed in his heart, I'm so shameless. Unexpectedly oppressing people with the righteousness of the human race. Li Shudu has said so. If Prince Jiang still doesn't agree to exchange imperial scriptures, wouldn't it appear that Prince Jiang is disregarding the overall situation? Sure enough, Jiang Shenhuang said, Okay, then I will pass on the Eternal Universe Sutra to my fellow Taoist. Please don't spread it around. Judging from Li Shu's style of behavior, Jiang Shenhuang has already guessed just now, Li Shu was probably exchanging various secret techniques with Yi Fan. The old God King was really afraid of Li Shu, after obtaining the Eternal Universe Sutra. Also use the Hengyu Sutra, exchange imperial scriptures with others everywhere, or other secret techniques. Don't worry, Jiang Daoyu. I will definitely not spread the Hengyu Classic. The 2 exchanged imperial scriptures, but in fact, it was King Jiang who took some advantage. Because the Eternal Universe Sutra passed down from King Jiang to Li Shu does not have the last forbidden secret method. The Sun Sutra passed down by Li Shu to King Jiang includes the last forbidden secret law. Jiang Shenhuang had already shown great kindness to Yi Fan, after exchanging imperial scriptures with Li Shu. Yi Fan thought to himself that the scriptures and secret techniques he had mastered had already been passed on to Li Shu. Why not also pass them on to King Jiang? So without any hesitation, he collected all the scriptures, secrets, and techniques he had mastered. All of them were passed down to King Jiang with divine ideas. At this moment, everyone was overjoyed, and all 3 of them had their own gains. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Sharpening the gun in the face of the battle. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 6. Sharpening the gun in the face of the battle. Sharpening one's gun in the face of battle, it's not enough to be unhappy. Such things as martial arts and secret techniques. Unlike other items, when exchanged, they become less. After exchanging martial arts and secret techniques, each other learned several techniques and secret techniques, which was very beneficial for everyone. Li Shu obtained the Eternal Universe Sutra, including the Xingzi Secret, Duzi Secret, and Junzi Secret. There are also works such as Yuan-Tian Book and 6 Paths Reincarnation Fist. There are also the mysterious and clumsy peaks, the secrets of the natural way, and the inheritance secrets of the Killer Divine Court. The Emperor's Classic and the 9 Secrets are both the top secret techniques in this world. As for the 6 Paths Reincarnation Fist, it is one of the invincible heavenly skills in the Covering the Sky trilogy. The natural ways and secrets of Zhufeng, as well as the core inheritance of the Killer God dynasty, are equally important to Li Shu. If you exchange so many martial arts and secret techniques from the system mall, it will cost 200 to 300 million points. Li Shu made a lot of money on this trip to Yaochi. At this moment, the Queen Mother of Yaochi came over and invited a few people to enter the holy land of Yaochi together. The battle has ended, and staying outside the mountain gate of Yaochi Holy Land is not Yaochi's way of entertaining guests. Many human cultivators gathered around to greet Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu. These are the only 2 human saints at the grand gathering of all races so far. Everyone wants to establish a good relationship with the 2 saints, even if it means going forward to show their faces and leave an impression. Li Shu, however, had no intention of making friends with others and had to busy himself with studying the newly acquired 9 secrets. Li Shu greeted the Queen Mother of Yaochi and pulled Jiang Shenhuang along. I went to the side of the immortal pool in the holy land of Yaochi to practice. Upon arriving at Xianqi, Li Shu said to Jiang Shenhuang, "Jiang Daoyu, today is just the beginning. There will definitely be more ancient clan powerhouses coming in the future." Throughout ancient times, there were countless tribes that were able to self-proclaim themselves and only emerge today. Each tribe has a sage-level powerhouse. Some royal families even have sage kings, great saints, and even quasi-emperor-level old monsters, and the next few days will be even more difficult. So Jiang Daoyu, hurry up and practice the Zhizimi, at least in times of crisis, it can provide you with more means to save your life. Thank you very much for Li Daoyu's reminder. I see that you are just entering the realm of a saint, and you also need to focus on your cultivation. I'm planning to practice Do Zi Mi to increase my combat power, sharpen my skills in the face of battle, and not be too fast. Haha. Jiang Shenhuang also smiled and sat cross-legged by the side of the immortal pool, starting to practice. At the level of a sage, practicing secrets like the 9 secrets is still very fast. Although it is impossible to achieve great success in a short period of time, it is not too difficult to get started and use it proficiently. Xianqi is very quiet here, and no one comes to disturb the cultivation of the 2 saints. In Li Shu's mind, he deduced the Do Zi Mi and combined it with his various attack methods to use each other. Practicing such a secret technique is more about understanding. Li Shu can become a saint for 100 years, and his understanding is naturally not inferior. After 3 or 4 hours, Li Shu was already able to proficiently use Do Zi Mi. So I switched to practicing character secrets and all character secrets. Xing character secrets can increase speed, while all character secrets can enhance any skill or secret technique. This can have a huge impact on the subsequent battles. Time is tight now, so we need to focus on cultivation. While Li Shu was focused on cultivation, Jiang Shenhuang was also focused on cultivation. The combat effectiveness of King Jiang Shenhuang goes without saying, and it is widely recognized that he has been the first to attack for 5,000 years, which is the reputation and prestige he has achieved. Jiang Shenhuang, as suggested by Li Shu, practiced the word secret first. Although King Jiang is powerful, he has too many enemies. And those ancestral kings of the ancient tribe are truly the realm of sage kings. In terms of realm, it is a great level higher than the White God King, and the subsequent battles will definitely be very difficult. If one cultivates the character, Jazimi, they can recover their injuries faster and their ability to sustain bloody battles will also be greatly enhanced. The secret of the character, Je, is not recorded in writing, but evolved through the ancient and simple divine patterns, which are vast and profound. Containing a profound meaning that is shocking to the heavens, King Jiang Shenhuang comprehends and operates the character secret, only to see his whole body filled with qi and blood. Jazimi is constantly repairing his body in essence, repairing some small flaws left on the path of cultivation over thousands of years. This makes Jiang Shenhuang's body crystal clear, and his skin is full of a fairy-like luster, instantly doubling his vitality. The secret techniques of the 9 secrets are so powerful, no wonder there are rumors that if one can gather all the 9 secrets, they will not be weaker than the legendary immortal methods. A big war is coming. After mastering the secret of the character, Je, Jiang Shenhuang continued to practice the secret of the character, Xing, and the secret of the character, All. These 2 secret techniques can greatly enhance Jiang Shenhuang's combat power. I have just obtained 3 types of 9 secrets. Although I have only been practicing for 1 night, it is of great significance for the upcoming bloody battle. Until the sky brightens and dawn arrives. Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang have basically mastered several newly acquired 9 secret techniques. If you want to continue practicing and gain a deeper understanding of the secrets of the 9 secrets, it will take countless times more time to achieve it. At dawn, the 2 of them did not leave the immortal pool and continued to meditate here for cultivation. Both of them are seizing every minute and every second to enhance their strength and prepare for the upcoming bloody battle. Unfortunately, shortly after dawn, the Supreme Elder of Yaochi Holy Land came to invite more than 10 ancient kings from the ancient tribe. Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu got up and left the immortal pool. Arrived at the heavenly platform of Yaochi Holy Land. The so-called Tongtian platform was once the highest peak in the northern regions, cut off by the Western Emperor and turned into a platform. The Great Emperor's formation pattern of the Western Emperor is depicted on the Tongtian platform, which can serve as both a battlefield of life and death and a square for discussions. Seeing the arrival of Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang, an ancient king of the ancient tribe angrily pointed at Li Shu. He shouted loudly and asked, "It's you who killed 2 ancient kings yesterday. Come and lead me to death. You must die today, no one can save you." Li Shu Gang was about to fight back when he was stopped by Prince Jiang. Jiang Shenhuang and other sage people of the human race have already discussed countermeasures, and he is really afraid of Li Shu's impulsiveness. Destroyed the already agreed upon countermeasures. Jiang Shenhuang said, "Are you all here specifically for killing people? Why don't you sit down and have a conversation? There are only 2 saints in the human race, what qualifications do they have to talk to us about? 2 saints, plus 1 holy turtle, how qualified are they to be on an equal footing with us? Sleeping for many years, I can't wait to taste the taste of human blood again." The ancient kings of the ancient tribe are becoming more and more arrogant, and some ancient tribes have a very strong hostility towards the human race, wishing to kill all the saints of the human race. I want the entire Beidou to return to the rule of the ancient race, while the human race becomes the blood and food of the ancient race. Since Jiang Shenhuang and his team had a strategy, Li Shu remained silent. After arguing and arguing, the ultimate goal is not to take action. In a world where the strong prioritize cultivation, strength is the foundation. The ancient king, who was clamoring to kill Li Shu, once again approached and pointed at Li Shu, challenging him on the spot. This person is wearing a divine iron battle suit and holding an ancient long sword, both of which are good items of the Holy Spirit. And this ancient king is already a saint of high rank, standing on the 7th level of the saint, only 2 small realms away from the peak of the saint. No wonder he is so arrogant, constantly provoking and trying to kill Li Shu, who had just entered the realm of a saint. This time, Li Shu couldn't hold back any longer and flashed directly to the center of the Tongtian platform, holding the Divine Slayer. Pointing at the other person, he said, "If you want to kill me, you also need that strength. If you have the ability, just come and try it out." In the first battle of the day, Li Shu killed 2 ancient kings, giving them a clear understanding of their combat effectiveness. Even though the other party is 6 small realms higher, Li Shu is not afraid at all. The ancient king flew over with a fierce smile, with 6 arms on his shoulders, some holding swords and knives, while those without weapons were either fists or palms. Shining with divine radiance, he simultaneously bombarded and killed the plum tree. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Slaying the Ancient King Again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Slaying the Ancient King Again. This 6-armed Ancient King. It should be that he has a deep friendship with the 2 ancient kings who were killed by Li Shu yesterday. Therefore, repeatedly targeting Li Shu is a desire for revenge. The attack of the 6-armed Ancient King is very fierce. With just one move, I wanted to kill Li Shu. Faced with fierce attacks, Li Shu remained unmoved. If you think you're just a few small realms high and want to crush the plum tree, then you're overthinking it. The footwork character is secret, easily avoiding the attack of the 6-armed Ancient King. While dodging, Li Shu's divine blade instantly magnified his form by several hundred times. With a dazzling aura and a piercing whistling sound, he swiftly slashed towards the 6-armed Ancient King. The attack of the 6-armed Ancient King was all in vain, and the divine blade had already arrived in front of him. At this moment, he realized that the situation was not good and quickly tried to dodge. Although he dodged the crucial point, he was also cut off with 3 arms, and holy blood flew and stained the heavenly platform. After only 1 round of confrontation, this arrogant 6-armed Ancient King has already become a 3-armed Ancient King. In front of everyone, he was injured with just 1 move, and the 3-armed Ancient King was both embarrassed and angry, roaring up to the sky. I saw the black light spreading everywhere, and the body of the 3-armed Ancient King grew larger in a circle. He rushed over with the black light, as if he wanted to tear the plum tree into pieces with his own hands. The remaining 3 arms, with an intimidating black light, padded towards the Li tree. The dark light made the plum tree feel dangerous, so the plum tree was not stiff. The body retreated and at the same time, a punch was thrown out. Li Shu used Do Zi Mi to transform this punch into the appearance of a divine sword. The 3-armed Ancient King became afraid of the divine blade and did not dare to forcefully touch it. Instead, he chose to dodge. The real god-slaying blade quietly took action. This time, the god-slaying blade was ordinary and simple, without any anomalies, and instantly disappeared into the dark light. 2 divine slaying blades strike simultaneously, one evolved using a secret technique with a dazzling radiance, designed to confuse the 3-armed Ancient King. The true slaying divine sword arrived first, and from bottom to top in the dark light, it split the 3-armed Ancient King in half. Ordinary people cannot see clearly what has happened, but saints and ancient kings can see clearly. I saw the divine blade flying up and down, swiftly strangling the 3-armed Ancient King into pieces. And the fragments of those corpses were corroded by the dark light of the 3-armed Ancient King himself, constantly emitting smoke and making a hissing sound, slowly turning into nothingness. The 3-armed Ancient King has died, but the black light he brought out did not immediately dissipate. That black light is toxic and has a strong corrosiveness, causing the ground to be corroded into potholes. I don't know if this is the inherent toxicity of his body, or if he has practiced some special secret technique. But this is no longer important, because the 3-armed Ancient King has completely died. In just a few breaths, another Ancient King died, which made many ancient tribes look extremely ugly. And the ancient kings who watched the battle were all full of murderous intent. Just as the 3-armed Ancient King died, 3 ancient kings from the ancient tribe flew up to the center of the Tongtian platform and rushed towards the Li tree. Jiang Taishu, the white-clothed divine king, dodged and threw 2 punches, blocking the 3 ancient kings and allowing Li Shu to rest. Originally, during the grand gathering of the 10,000 clans, it was Jiang Shenhuang alone who faced many powerful enemies. The appearance of Li Shu was an unexpected joy, adding a holy level combat power to the human side. But Li Shu's realm is too low, just the first layer of the 4 heavens in Sendai, just entering the realm of saints. Led by Li Shu, he withstood a wave and even killed an ancient king, boosting the morale of the human race. The upcoming battle was too dangerous, and Jiang Shenhuang had no intention of letting Li Shu continue to participate in the battle. The ancient kings of the 3 ancient tribes on the Tongtian platform, like gods and demons, had ferocious bone spurs sprouting from their backs. Seeing Li Shu resting under the tree, he was very careful when facing the 3 white-clothed divine kings and did not immediately take action. But it was a secret technique that combined the 3 into one, transforming them into a golden demon god. The golden demon god shines with golden light, and its massive body resembles a prehistoric beast, emitting a powerful aura. Even those watching the battle can feel the powerful pressure. After the 3 ancient kings merged, looking at their powerful aura, it was obvious that they had reached the level of the ancestor king, which is the realm of the sage king. These 3 old guys should come from the same tribe and have a special combo secret technique. No wonder the 3 of them have to go up together, and from the beginning, they don't want to go all out, just go all out. The golden demon god shines brightly and moves forward, hoping to use the fastest, most direct, and most bloody means to suppress the Jiang god king. Unfortunately, they did not encounter ordinary saints, but rather the white-clothed god king Jiang Taishu. Faced with 3 ancient kings of the ancient tribe, the demon god merged into one. The divine king waved his fist without any movement. I saw that fist instantly transform into a Hanyu furnace, without any obstacles. Directly pierced through the body of the golden demon god, killing an ancient king to pieces. One of the 3 deaths, the golden demon god immediately disintegrated, and the remaining 2 ancient kings also appeared. Before they could react, Jiang Shenhuang waved his fist again. This time, 2 fists were fired at the same time, and both turned into Hanyu furnaces, 1 fist at a time, directly destroying the remaining 2 people. He truly deserves to be the unparalleled divine king. He was so powerful that he instantly killed 3 ancient kings. Jiang Shenhuang's combat effectiveness has never disappointed anyone, and this time it's the same. Although there are few saints in our human race, they have strong combat power. It's only been a while, and we have already killed 4 ancient kings. The key is that our human race's 2 saints, after defeating 4 strong enemies, were all unharmed and not even injured. Many people began to discuss the human cultivators watching the battle. And those ancient tribes who watched the battle, especially those who were hostile to the human race, all had ugly faces. The heavenly platform, where the white-clothed divine king is independent of the upper level, is like a god of war descending to the world against the backdrop of blood on the ground and fragments of enemy corpses. Just now, during a brief battle, the white god king dominated the world and punched fiercely like a dragon. The invincible posture of the divine king made countless ancient tribes shiver, but in just a moment, 4 ancient kings died. There are indeed few saints in the human race, only 2 have appeared. But this combat power is too strong, isn't it? How can I still be killed in a flash even though I used a combination attack technique to fight more and less? Some ancient tribes present have already had the idea of extinguishing the war. The human cultivators watching the battle were all extremely excited. Previously suppressed by the powerful ancient tribe, they dared not even breathe, but now everyone feels proud and proud. Jiang Taishu, the white-clothed divine king, overwhelms the entire audience on the heavenly platform alone. The 3 fists bombarded and killed 3 ancient kings, and the combat power was so terrifying that no one from the ancient tribe continued to take power for a while. Unexpectedly, at this moment, unbridled laughter could be heard from afar. Ha ha ha. The laughter shook the sky, indicating that another strong person had arrived. In the high sky, at the end of the horizon, two ancient kings quickly approached. Then one after another, the ancient clan powerhouses arrived, some of whom were particularly powerful, namely the Blood Electricity Ancestor King Tingqing Zhuang, Haoyang Zhuang, and Taiming Zhuang. These people are the true ancestors, equivalent to the realm of the Sage King in the modern cultivation system. These ancestral kings were among the powerful figures of the ancient tribe, all of whom were renowned. More importantly, these newly arrived powerhouses have a strong hostility towards the human race. The ancestors of these ancient tribes have risen a great level above the saints. On the human side, there are still only two people, Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu. The white god king Jiang Taishu has not been consecrated for many years, and Li Shu has just become a saint. Even if the combat effectiveness is strong, facing groups of ancient and ancestral kings, this is still an unsolvable outcome. The ancient creatures of the tribe smiled happily, while the human cultivators were so desperate that they were powerless to lift their heads. Just now, Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang exerted great power and swiftly killed several ancient kings. It made the human cultivators feel hopeful, but in the blink of an eye, it was once again covered in dark clouds. The arrival of swarms of strong enemies made the human cultivators feel completely devoid of hope. Killed 4 ancient kings, followed by a dozen or so, several of whom were still in the realm of the Sage King. This way, the more you kill, the stronger the enemy's strength becomes as you continue to fight. Except for Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang, most of the human cultivators present felt hopeless. Unless a miracle occurs. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Bloodthirsty Battle Group Enemies, Seeking Votes for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Bloodthirsty Battle Group Enemies, Seeking Votes for Collection. The more powerful the enemy is killed, the more. The strong members of the ancient tribe arrived one after another. Under the leadership of powerful figures such as Blood Electric Ancestor, Tingqing Ancestor, Haoyang Ancestor, and Taiming Ancestor. All of them were forced towards the white-clothed God King, and many of the human and ancient tribes who were watching the battle looked at Li Shu. But Li Shu did not move, sitting cross-legged to adjust his own state. Li Shu seemed to turn a blind eye to the situation faced by King Jiang Shenhuang. As a result, under the pressure of numerous powerful enemies, Jiang Shenhuang evolved the divine overture with a guqin, and surprisingly turned the tables against the heavens. King Jiang Shenhuang, using the realm of a sage, killed the ancient clan's Tingqing Ancestor King, who was in the realm of a Sage King. The ancient tribe who originally intended to install 13, only Tingqing Zhuang intervened just now. Result. It's cold. Now the strong members of the ancient tribe don't pretend anymore. A dozen ancient kings and a few ancestral kings will fight together. Do you think group attacks will be stable? Wrong. After Tingqing Zhuang, Haoyang Zhuang, die. Jiang Shenhuang used the prelude of the divine to confront numerous powerful enemies and forcefully slay them, resulting in the death of 2 powerful ancestors of the ancient clan. This is the highlight moment belonging to the white-clothed God King, so Li Shu, who had long known what would happen, did not immediately step in to help. Also, it's mainly Li Shu himself. Just a few days after breaking through to become a saint, he doesn't have the strength to fight against the ancestral king of the ancient tribe. 2 ancestral kings died consecutively, and the ancient kings not only did not stop, but also became even crazier. Nearly 20 people joined forces to besiege King Jiang Shenhuang. There's no need for Bai Lian at all, just talking about the weakness of the human race. In fact, more than 20 people joined forces to deal with the sage of the Jiang Shenhuang clan. Among the more than 20 ancient clan powerhouses, several of them have the level of Saint King in terms of strength. In the words of those ancient clan powerhouses, not Bai Lian. That is. If you can't even pass our siege, how can you cope with the arrival of even more powerful ancient tribes in the future? Listen to this tone, it's still a disgusting expression that's for your own good and consideration. At this point, Li Shu can no longer sit idly by and should take action. I'm never afraid of fighting, and even though there are many of you, your strength is also strong, but Li Shu has a cheat on him. The ancestors of the ancient tribe were all handed over to King Jiang Shenhuang to deal with. Li Shu is really not afraid of the other dozen or so ancient kings. What if there are many people? In terms of divine weapons, no one present can compare to Li Shu's divine sword, which is forged from immortal gold. In terms of combat effectiveness, none of the saints of the post-wasteland era are weak, generally stronger than the ancient kings. Moreover, Li Shu also possesses the healing magic of Zhi Mi. As well as the secret of the characters in the line, the secret of the characters in the battle, and the secret of the characters in both. There was no room for nonsense at all. Li Shu kept his foot on the line and took a big step forward at lightning speed. Taking a step forward, Li Shu arrived not far from the ancient clan strongmen. With the blessing of the 9 secrets, the divine blade of slaying transformed into a chilling lightning bolt and charged directly into the midst of a group of ancient kings relying on the benefits of divine weapons. Among the ancient kings, a simple yet highly effective move swept across 1,000 armies. In the midst of shining light, holy blood splattered everywhere, and limbs flew horizontally. With one move, Li Shu killed 3 ancient kings and seriously injured 6 or 7 people. Successfully attracting hatred, the group of ancient kings all surrounded and killed Li Shu. Those powerful ancestors continued to besiege King Jiang. Facing a group of besieged ancient kings, Li Shu's foot moves in secret, wielding the divine blade with his elemental spirit, while his hands continuously swing the 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Trapped in a tight encirclement, Li Shu showed no fear at all. Under the siege of a group of ancient kings, he could still charge left and right, and forcefully kill the enemy. While constantly killing enemies, Li Shu was also constantly getting injured, but that was just a small matter. The character of Zhe is constantly in operation, and the injury is constantly recovering at a visible speed to the naked eye. As long as it doesn't harm the original spirit, Li Shu doesn't pay much attention to other injuries. This is the secret of the character, Zhe, which gives Li Shu the confidence. Watching the bloody battle on the heavenly platform, the human cultivators were all anxious, while the ancient creatures sneered repeatedly. Especially the Heavenly Prince, the super background board that covers the heavenly world, where he talks and laughs loudly, saying that the double saints of the human race will undoubtedly die today, but in fact, both Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu are like indestructible Xiaoqiang, always able to turn things around in desperate situations. Bathing in blood, constantly fighting. Li Shu is exceptionally brave, capable of repeatedly slaying powerful enemies. Jiang Shenhuang was even stronger and more fierce. Faced with the siege of the powerful ancestors, he even took the initiative to attack. The white-clothed divine king transformed into a white light, crisscrossing between the ancestral kings. That speed was so fast that there was no one among the powerful ancestors who could stop him. Jiang Shenhuang is not only known for his strong attack power, but also has the Divine King leaving the sky step in his body techniques. The Divine King leaving the sky step is a rare and unparalleled body technique in the world. Now the Divine King's heavenly step, combined with the upward word secret, is incredibly fast. I saw the Divine King constantly getting injured, blood spilling all over the heavenly platform. The ancestors of the ancient tribe suffered even more, being attacked and killed one by the White God King. Although there were successive strong figures from the ancient tribe who rushed up to the heavenly platform and joined the siege of the white-clothed Divine King, they could not do anything about the Jiang Divine King. Ah! The Timing Ancestor King has also died. How could that be? Why is this sage of the human race so powerful? He is just a sage realm. There is still a long way to go from the peak of the sage. Surprisingly, he was able to slay several ancestors under the siege of the powerful ancestors. Jiang Taishu and Li Shu, although their injuries were not mild, died one after another as ancient and ancestral kings of the ancient tribe. Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang stand firm and will not fall. The dual saints of the human race, with unparalleled combat power, constantly slay powerful enemies by descending and ascending. However, the situation is becoming increasingly unfavorable because there are still strong people coming from all over the world. The White God King was seriously injured, and Li Shu was also soaked in blood. Fortunately, the appearance of Li Shu changed some things, and the character, Zhe, was secretly given to King Jiang in advance. And I managed to secure him a night of cultivation time. So although Jiang Shenhuang was injured, he did not harm the source and could continue to fight. Li Shu has reached a considerable level of cultivation for the character, Zhe Zimi, not to mention the exaggeration of being reborn with a drop of blood. But with just these dozen or so ancient kings, it is unlikely to kill Li Shu. A grand gathering of thousands of ethnic groups, many ancient tribes harbored malice and used their power to suppress others, using more to strike less. Want to kill the sage of the human race. As a result, a series of bloody battles came to an end. The only two saints of the human race, namely Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu, although they appear to have been severely injured and covered in blood. But he never fell down, and there was still a chance to fight. On the other hand, among the powerful and domineering ancient tribes, there were more than 10 ancient kings who died before and after, and several powerful ancestors also died. And the observers, whether ancient or human, appeared relatively silent at this time. The battle situation on the Tongtian platform is a result that neither side wants to see. The ancient tribe believed that they should crush the human tribe, but they paid a huge price and lost so many powerful people, which made the ancient tribe unable to accept. It's like using human life to pile things up, but the problem is that they couldn't pile them up to death. The only two saints in the human race. The ancient powerful have suffered numerous deaths and injuries, but the two saints of the human race are still alive and well. The human cultivators felt that it was too tragic. The only two human saints, facing enemies 10 times or more, fought a series of bloody battles without falling, which is a good thing. But he was also afraid that Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu would fall into a pool of blood in the next second. I just hope this battle can come to an end soon. Li Shu was surrounded by a group of ancient kings, sweat and blood mixed together, soaking his black clothes. The high-intensity battle consumed a lot, but Li Shu still looked at these ancient kings contemptuously, silently mocking them for being too weak. The ancient kings besieging Li Shu were both shocked and angry, and continued to launch violent attacks. I want to completely kill Li Shu with a wicked smile on his face. The trials of life and death are the best practices. A series of bloody battles gave Li Shu a further understanding of the secret of character writing. The Li tree, dressed in black, transformed into a black lightning bolt and attacked in all directions among a group of ancient kings. There are too many strong ancient tribes, kill 3 to 5. Kill 5 and bring 8 more. Although there have been constant deaths, the number of ancient clan strongmen besieging Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang has increased instead of decreasing. One ancient king after another was killed by Li Shu. During the battle, I didn't forget to collect the relatively complete body of the ancient king. The ancient people regarded the human race as blood food, and Li Shu was responding to those malicious ancient tribes with actions. The ancient kings of the ancient tribe are also regarded by Li Shu as blood eaters. This made the ancient creatures on the Tongtian platform, as well as the onlookers, grit their teeth and hate Li Shu. Unfortunately, Li Shu's face always wore a mocking smile. It seems like saying to the ancient tribe, I, the sage, like to see you guys who want to tear me apart but have no way to do anything about me. For the specific plot in the original work, it will be briefly explained and it is not possible to simply copy it. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Blood Battle Group Enemies, 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Blood Battle Group Enemies, 2, 5 or 6 ancient kings simultaneously exerted all their strength to strike. Fiercely striking the Li tree, the other ancient kings joined forces to try their best to trap the Li tree. Because the speed of the plum tree is too fast, if we lose the advantage of speed, Li Shu will surely see a sharp decline in his combat power. In order to trap the Li tree, more than 10 ancient kings joined forces from all directions and in the air to surround the Li tree. Directly gave up the attack, only seeking to slow down the speed of the Li tree. Under the joint siege of numerous ancient kings, Li Shu felt the pressure doubled and his actions became somewhat difficult. Mainly because of the constant bloodshed and fighting, Li Shu has consumed himself excessively and has become somewhat powerless. Under the joint encirclement and suppression of a group of ancient kings, Li Shu fought fiercely but was still beaten and flew out, spitting blood from his mouth. There are several places on the waist and back that have been beaten to the point where blood and flesh are nowhere to be found, revealing a forest of white bones and looking very miserable. Just entering the realm of a saint for the first time, today's achievements are enough to make you proud, but you still have to die today. He has already consumed too much, let's work together to grind him to death. Numerous ancient kings once again launched a violent attack. Li Shu, whose spirit was exhausted, didn't care about any moves anymore and held his sword with both hands. Directly utilizing the power of the body, the divine blade was used to unleash a sweeping move that swept across thousands of troops. Because he is no longer able to wield his sword to attack the enemy, Li Shu is in a life and death battle, but on the side of the White God King. Jiang Shenhuang once again killed an ancestral queen, which made the ancestral king of the ancient tribe tremble with fear. For a moment, no one dared to take action again. Just confronting Prince Jiang on the heavenly platform to prevent him from supporting Li Shu, who was under siege. Li Shu's injuries are not light, but he can still hold on. Jiang Shenhuang, who was seriously injured, was powerless to provide support. He took the opportunity to fully activate the character secret and raced against time to recover his injuries and combat effectiveness. The ancient ancestors who surrounded but did not attack were also very helpless. So many ancestral kings besieged Jiang Shenhuang, and the two sides fought fiercely for half a day. Jiang Shenhuang was always in a desperate situation to turn things around, but the ancestral kings died one after another. If we continue like this, all these ancestral kings present will be killed by the White God King. Among countless spectators, the young generation of the ancient tribe, represented by the heavenly prince and aspiring to compete for power on the imperial road, watched as the unparalleled human twin saints stood on the heavenly platform. Feeling immense pressure, Jiang Taishu broke through and then stood up. Now it is the year of fighting. Li Shu is even more youthful, just in his early 100s. If these two saints of the human race don't die today, it will definitely become the unparalleled enemy of the future imperial road competition. And both of these people have become saints, taking a few more steps than the heavenly prince and the others. Perhaps it's not yet possible that these arrogant individuals who aspire to the path of the emperor have truly grown up. Among these two saints of the human race, some have already proven themselves emperor in advance. So the princes and heavenly pride of the ancient tribe, compared to other ancient tribes, hoped that King Jiang and Li Shu would die in battle on the spot. Li Shu continued to fight fiercely, while Jiang Shen confronted the ancestral king of the ancient tribe. The sage of the human race, two people fighting against so many ancient kings and ancestral kings, can be the current heroes. It's really unexpected. There is a voice coming from the sky, and some ancient powerful people still admire the human double saints, with respect for the strong in their words. This is the newly arrived Purple Forest Ancestor King, along with several other ancient kings. Directly landed on the heavenly platform, surrounded by Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu. Some people disdain it and say, it's a shame that so many of you couldn't kill these only two saints of the tribe. This is the twin ancestor king, powerful and violent, with a strong hostility towards the human race. With the appearance of sound and the constant arrival of powerful ancient tribes, more than 10 ancient kings and several ancestral kings of the ancient tribes came one after another. Will the heavens destroy the saints of our race? Or will they cut off the path of our human race? A cultivator from the human race whispered in agony. The situation on the Tongtian platform is so hopeless that it is speechless. Jiang Shenhuang was seriously injured, and Li Shu also consumed too much, clearly feeling overwhelmed. On the side of the ancient tribe, but more than 10 powerful figures have arrived. How can we fight now? That's it, it's not over yet. With a loud roar, at the end of the sky, 9 ancient ferocious beasts at the level of great kings pulled a 5-spirit divine chariot. When the ancient chariot stopped, a terrifying figure stepped out of it. On its body, it emits a breathtaking aura that makes both the sage and the ancient king feel chilly. I have seen the fallen ancestor king. The strong members of the ancient tribe shouted one after another. This fallen ancestor king is the ultimate existence of the ancestor king. Recognized by all ancient tribes as the pinnacle ancestor king with the greatest potential to become a great saint. The arrival of such a terrifying powerhouse naturally brought great joy to the ancient tribe. On the human side, it is completely hopeless. Li Shu didn't care if others were happy or desperate, because as a traveler, he already knew the final outcome of the grand gathering of all races. What Li Shu cared about was that the arrival of the fallen ancestor king temporarily halted the siege of the ancient kings who had besieged him. This gave Li Shu a precious breathing opportunity. Hurry up and seize the opportunity, fully utilize the secret healing of the character, Zhi, as in the original work, the powerful and 13-equipped fallen ancestor king, upon his arrival, kept firing incessantly. Unexpectedly deluded to subdue Jiang Shenhuang and Li Shu. I want these 2 heroes of the human race to surrender and submit to the ancient tribe where the fallen king resides. You 2 are both outstanding people, and I really want to give you a chance to take you as my adopted son. Return to my tribe and continue my tradition. With the qualifications of both of you, you will surely be able to dominate the world in the future and have the potential to achieve the title of the great sage. Li Shu is busy healing and doesn't have the energy to talk nonsense to him. The white-clothed divine king Jiang Taishu, without any arrogance, has a proud physique, and Jiang Shenhuang is also a descendant of the great emperor. How could they possibly surrender to the enemy? After a moment of silence, Jiang Shenhuang remained calm and unafraid in the face of the fallen heavenly king, saying calmly, "Then let's fight. Killing genius is not my wish, it's a pity." The fallen king shook his head and sighed, his tone becoming cold. The decision of the fallen king is a signal of battle. The fallen ancestral king took a step forward, and the other ancestral kings immediately followed and surrounded the Prince Jiang from other directions. This is a final game. Li Shu wanted to scold it as a mother. Because there have been many new ancient and ancestral kings, and now there are enough strong ancient tribes with abundant combat power. Apart from the strong ones who surrounded and killed King Jiang, the remaining nearly 20 ancient kings, along with 3 ancestral kings, surrounded Li Shu. Li Shu felt that there was still a chance to kill the enemy in a 1-on-1 battle against the ancestral king. Can one person fight against 20 ancient kings, plus 3 powerful ancestral kings? Li Shu is really not sure. The fallen ancestor king forced Ge Gao to pose in the air, but did not immediately take action. Those who besiege Li Shu should not be the scumbags of the ancient tribe of Bai Lian, they should not pay attention to their magnanimity and strength. Surrounded by various means, the Tao interweaves and the divine radiance flickers, all killing Li Shu. The ancient people did not speak of military ethics. He's really deceiving others. Fortunately, when both sides were firing before, Li Shu took the opportunity to recover some. Just now, I urgently exchanged 2 drops of divine medicine liquid from the system mall to take it. Only then can there be spare energy to move the Xingzi secret and quickly dodge the attacks of the powerful ancestor king. Sitting idly by is not Li Shu's style. While dodging, Li Shu was not idle and even sought an opportunity to kill several ancient kings of the ancient tribe. The 3 powerful ancestors, Li Shu, who had just entered the realm of saints, thought he couldn't afford to provoke them. As for the ancient king, killing him is like slaughtering a dog. Li Shu once again fell into a bloody battle. The fallen king on the other side raised his palm and was just about to take action. At this very moment. Bomb! Suddenly, a loud and earth-shattering sound came. A dazzling golden light pierced through the void and instantly crossed the vast earth, like a divine being traveling towards the Yao pool. The golden light and the heavenly path resounded together, but in the blink of an eye, they arrived at the holy land of Yaochi from the sky. Fengshen Bang. The list of gods bestowed by the great Emperor Wuxia has finally arrived. The list of gods fell, like the palm of the great Emperor Wuxia pressing down. Previously, those who were extremely arrogant and domineering, such as Purple Forest Ancestor King, Twin Ancestor King, and so on. As the list of gods fell, all of them burst out one by one, and they died on the spot. It's over. Li Shu knew that the turning point had finally appeared, and this bloody battle was finally over. Li Shu thought to himself, fortunately, I didn't change the timing of the appearance of the Fengshen list due to my own appearance. Otherwise, maybe we'll have to sing "Cool" today. Li Shu and Jiang Shenhuang both breathed a sigh of relief. Other human races cultivate soil, along with ancient creatures. Shocked by the sudden arrival of the list of gods, I fell into a brief state of confusion. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Blood Battle Group Enemies, 3. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Blood Battle Group Enemies, 3. Finally, we managed to hold on to the arrival of the god sealing list. As soon as the list of gods was released, no one could resist it, and in an instant, several ancient and ancestral kings died. Even the powerful fallen ancestor king, his 5-spirit chariot, and the 9 ancient ferocious beasts pulling the chariot all turned into powder and blood mist with a pop sound. The strongest member of the ancient tribe present, the fallen ancestor king, only had time to let out an unwilling roar. Fengshen Bang, that golden light kills everything, there is no one to resist. This is the Emperor's aura, how could it be like this? Fake, this is not true. How could the human emperor still be alive? How could this be? This is impossible, how could Wuxia still be alive? This is the aura belonging to the level of the ancient emperor, how could it be? All ancient creatures, whether they were ancient kings, ancestral kings, or other ancient creatures, were trembling with double strands. I can't believe it, I don't want to believe it, everything in front of me is true. Just now, everything was fine. I saw that I would soon be able to eliminate the double saints of the killing clan. The situation of the ancient clan can be said to be very good. How could the situation completely reverse in the blink of an eye? The screams kept ringing, and wherever the Fengshen Bang went, whether you were the ancient king or the ancestral king, it all ran over you. One powerful ancient tribe after another was mercilessly wiped out. Just like before the arrival of the divine list, the ancient tribe was indifferent and ruthless, wanting to wipe out the dual saints of the human race. At this point in the bloody battle, there is no room for mercy. Since the emergence of the ancient race, there have been constant bloody conflicts between the ancient race and the human race. All along, it has been a powerful, arrogant, domineering, and wild ancient tribe that is oppressing the human race. A grand gathering of all ethnic groups. The human race and the ancient race have agreed to hold a grand gathering of 10,000 ethnic groups in the holy land of Yaochi to discuss the issue of coexistence between the human race and the ancient race. But the ancient tribe had no sincerity at all, and instead wanted to take this opportunity to eliminate the high-level combat power of the human tribe. To cut off the path of the rise of the human race. Let the human race be powerless to participate in the grand competition in this world where the road to immortality is about to open. So for these ancient powerful individuals with strong malicious intentions, there is no need to show mercy. The ancient kings and ancestral kings on the Tongtian platform were mercilessly erased one after another. The human cultivator exclaimed excitedly, "This is the manifestation of the great emperor, the Wuxia Great Emperor is still alive. The Great Emperor of the human race is still here, who can compete with the ancient race. The sage is majestic, the emperor is invincible, and the human race will prosper. Some younger human cultivators shouted slogans directly on the spot. On the heavenly platform. The remaining few ancient kings and ancestral kings were suppressed by the list of gods and knelt on the ground, unable to move. The ancient strong have fallen into lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Unfortunately, some people do not believe in evil and cannot accept such a fact. There is a powerful ancient king, intimidated by the list of gods. Surprisingly, he dared to speak out and say with difficulty, "Human race, if you dare to kill us all, there will inevitably be ancient imperial soldiers falling down and destroying the entire holy land of Yaochi." Before he could finish speaking, he was pushed down from the list of gods, and the ancient king who spoke let out a pop sound. Transformed into a stream of blood light, dissipated between heaven and earth. Indeed, as the ancient king said, there were indeed ancient imperial soldiers deployed later, and not only one ancient imperial soldier was deployed. But there are no eggs. Even the most powerful divine weapon requires human intervention. The ancient clan strongman who holds ancient imperial weapons and wants to secretly take advantage of them. Without even having a chance to revive the ancient imperial army, he was swiftly swept across the sky by the divine list, carrying a golden light that covered the sky and suppressed the earth, and killed the ancient clan strongmen who held the ancient imperial army. The golden light flashed past and burst into several mist of blood. Then, only the ancient imperial soldiers remained lying alone on the ground. If it weren't for the various forces and secret methods to recall the ancient imperial soldiers, they would definitely have been taken away and not left to the ancient clan. The strong one who holds the ancient imperial army has died, and the ancient imperial army is no longer a threat. As for the independent recovery of the ancient imperial army, that's really thinking too much. The comprehensive recovery of the Jidao Emperor's army itself requires a huge price tag. If it is the autonomous recovery of the Jidao Emperor's army, it is likely a situation of endless death. If several Jidao Emperor soldiers are fully revived in a major battle, I'm afraid the entire Big Dipper will turn into dust under the battle. Such an outcome is something that neither the human race nor the ancient people would want to see. So the Jidao Emperor's army is more of a deterrent presence, and few people dare to fully revive the Jidao Emperor's army. Just like nuclear weapons on Earth, they are meant to deter hostile forces. It's impossible to say or release nuclear weapons at will. The Fengshen Bang was launched, completely suppressing the ancient tribe. And the power of the Fengshen list has alarmed the entire northern region, as well as countless lurking ancient clan powerhouses. Many ancient ethnic forces immediately sent people to the Yaochi Holy Land to inquire about what had happened. When the news of what happened in Yaochi spread, the world was shocked and the Betas shook. In fact, the truly intelligent ancient tribes were all quietly watching dramas, not targeting the human race. The Qingxian Road will open, and there are many corpses on the Emperor Road. How many strong men will fall and how many bones will be left on the path of becoming immortal? Even if we really eliminate the human race, what then? In ancient times, among thousands of ethnic groups, what should be fought is still fought, and what should be fought is still to be fought. Therefore, there is no need to rush out now. Instead of jumping up and down, it's better to practice quietly and watch the play first. In the Holy Land of Yaochi, once the list of gods was released, the situation completely reversed. Li Shu didn't participate in the next thing. But instead, he ran to the side of the immortal pool in the Holy Land of Yaochi and continued his cultivation. Through bloody battles and hard work, Li Shu suffered not only minor injuries but also gained a lot. If before this, he was still a novice in combat, then now he can be considered an old hand. Because for 100 years before, Li Shu had been practicing diligently, basically not going out to walk or fighting with others. I have killed some ferocious beasts and so on. Arriving at the Holy Land of Yaochi is considered as truly participating in practical combat. The character, Zhe, is hidden inside, and although Li Shu's injury is not mild, it also recovers quickly. One by one, the sages of the human race appeared in the Holy Land of Yaochi. Firstly, the old immortal among the 13 major bandits, followed by the old man guarding the Tianxian Holy Land Shifang, and finally even Gai Jiuyo. This shocked the ancient people greatly, with Jiang Taishu and Li Shu, who had just entered the realm of saints. He killed a group of ancient and ancestral kings, allowing the ancient people to see how powerful those who became saints through preaching in the post-wilderness era are in terms of combat effectiveness. Now there are several more saints from the human race, and most of them have higher levels of cultivation than Jiang Taishu. If the human race really wants to go to war completely, the ancient race may not be enough to watch. Because after the birth of the ancient race, there was not a lack of knowledge about the human race, as far as they knew. Each major Holy Land imperial court has a so-called called heritage, and those heritage are mostly saints. There are even saints such as the King of Sages and the Great Sage among them. The ancient tribe speculates that the person who used the Fengshen Bang to kill the powerful ancient tribe should have been the work of the Great Sage, and at least 2 Great Sages working together, in order for the Fengshen Bang to have such power. If it really drives the Great Sage of the human race crazy, among all the ancient tribes, there are only a very few who truly have the strength to resist. So, the ancient tribe finally put down their stance and began negotiations with the human race. The human race forged peace with the blood of the enemy. For the chaos and disturbance outside, Li Shu ignored any questions and focused on practicing by the side of the immortal pool. On the heavenly terrace of Yaochi, Li Shu, who fought fiercely against the strong ancient tribes, and Jiang Taishu, the 2 saints of the human race. Both the ancient tribe and the human cultivators who came later were eager to meet. Li Shu had long anticipated that such a situation might occur. I have already told the people of Yaochi Holy Land and King Jiang that he should focus on his cultivation and not let others disturb him. So later on, only the White God King was seen, and Li Shu was not seen. After a few days, the human race and the ancient race had a peaceful peace talk with the Great Sage. In addition, the Great Black Dog has created a decree of the so-called Wuxia Emperor, which states that there are no saints in the world. Finally, the peace clause has been negotiated, which is to leave the big stage of the Beidu to the younger generation of Tianjiao to compete without leaving the sage behind. After the peace talks ended, the strong members of the ancient tribe left one after another. However, many human cultivators continued to stay in the Holy Land of Yaochi and did not leave immediately. Even several saints of the human race did not leave immediately. For Li Shu, the suddenly emerging and overly young sage of the human race, Gai Jiuyo and his companions were also curious. Let the people from Yaochi Holy Land come to the shore of Xianqi to invite Li Shu. End of this chapter.